Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion, and this here is today's randomly chosen chapstick vanilla mint. TCTN is the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, just enjoying your channel, enjoying whatever it is you do on your channel, and enjoying the channels that you watch. And if things don't turn out the way you want them to, it's okay. And the troll part is not caring too much about what the beauty community standards are. You set the standard for yourself. The bottom line is self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but not because somebody else said so. Not caring too much about when you hear you must use this brand, you must use this tool, or you must use this technique in order for your makeup to be elevated. Use whatever you want to use in any way you want to, with any tool that you want to get your makeup on the way that you're satisfied with it. That is the concept of the crazy troll nation. I do use foul language on my channel sometimes because I use foul language in real life sometimes. So I think that's it for the intro. I am nervous for today's video, and this is a challenge that Leanna Dalton put on Instagram, and I think she also put it here on YouTube. And the concept of this challenge for February, and it's an open challenge, and so if you're seeing this, or if you see her post, or you see somebody else doing this video or posting looks and using hashtag beauty and the soul, you know, feel free to join in. It's not closed, it's for whoever wants to do this. And so the concept of this challenge was to do something that helps you feel powerful. When you wear this certain makeup look, you feel powerful. Not this one, obviously. But troll is cute though. Or if you have, you know, a certain pair of shoes, when you wear, you feel powerful, or a certain suit, or a certain outfit, not necessarily a suit, or certain jewelry, whatever it is, it does not have to be related to makeup, whatever it is. And she posted different pictures on her Instagram to just show you. She showed a picture of a ring, she showed a picture of a pair of shoes, she showed, you know, an everyday makeup look that she does. And so it can be anything, it's not necessarily makeup related. But because we're here, I hope you have a snack. This is going to be makeup related for two reasons. One, I feel a little more powerful, and I say it that way because I never feel powerless. Yes, there's things that are out of my control, and I'm okay with that. And so I don't feel powerless. It's just like, okay, this is just what it is, and then I accept it. But I feel more powerful when I'm teaching, and I don't consider myself a teacher, even though, this will surprise you, I was ordained as a minister in 1998 to teach. I really was. And my doctorate degree in psychology, I've done presentations, I've done workshops, I've been on panel discussions and things. And it is a confidence thing, or a lack of confidence sometimes, because I'll be, you know, just doing my thing and saying something, and when it clicks that somebody's really listening by a question that they may ask about something I said, then I'm kind of like, oh fuck, like they're really paying attention. And that's my raw reaction, like inside. I don't say it out loud, but in my mind I'm like, and then I get nervous because I don't want to say the wrong thing or say it in a way that's not conveying what I'm trying to get across. And I know I do that here a lot on my channel. I stumble over my words, I say stuff, and then I put over here like what I really mean type of thing. But when I'm doing a class or a presentation, I'm really nervous and anxious because I don't want to mess up, and I want people to really understand what it is that I'm trying to get across. And so I'm nervous for this video. I'm going to tell you how this video is going to go. I have notes here. This video is going to be in 3 parts. There will be timestamps below. So if you want to just skip ahead, feel free to do that. And if you do watch this entire video and you find it helpful, please feel free to share it out. Before I forget, thank you, Leanna, for this challenge. Because I was really just like, so the first part is I'm going to give you a definition of something, excuse me, and I'm going to explain it because there is some misconception about it. The second part of this video is I'm going to show you a technique because it's makeup related, and then I'm going to enhance that technique. So those are going to be the 3 parts. So we're going to talk about hooded eyes. It's controversial, and I've gone back and forth on whether to say I have hooded eyes, because it is common to just say that when someone has just a little bit of lid space. Being a literal person, for the most part, I say what I mean and mean what I say. And I say for the most part because if I'm wired on Mountain Dew, or if I'm just acting goofy or silly, or I'm wired on sugar, I mean, who knows what's going to come out of my mouth. But when I'm trying to explain anything, I am very literal. And when I'm listening to people explain things, I am very literal and analytical, and I'm really paying attention to what they say. And so looking at my lids, I do not have hooded eyes. And a lot of eye shapes like mine, they do say they have hooded eyes. Be literal with me. Stick with me. Listen to this. Hooded eyes. If you're being literal, that means your eyes are hooded. You can see my entire eye. I mean, not my whole eyeball, but you can see my eye. Like nothing is preventing you from seeing my eye. Even though I have tagged some of my videos or put in the video title, excuse me, that for hooded eyes, I don't have hooded eyes. I have hooded lids. Being literal, part of my lid is hooded because I have this puff right here. I'm going to explain a little bit further. This, from your lash line to your socket, this space here, this is your mobile lid. Mobile meaning when you move your eyeball, you can see your skin moving. That's your mobile lid. This is the crease where your socket is. So this all the way across is your crease. This is the transition area. And for me, all of this is transition area. The transition area is from your crease up to your brow bone. That's everybody's eye shape, unless they don't have a crease, which is a monolid where it's just straight across. And some people call them Asian eyes, even though some Asian people do have a crease. So again, from your lash line to your socket, this is your mobile lid. This is your crease. From your crease up to here is your transition area. Are my eyes hooded? No, I have hooded lids. I'm going to put a list of names here of actors, and it seemed more predominant with men than women. I'm going to leave that name up there so you can Google, and you will see exactly what I'm saying when I talk about hooded eyes. Come to mind Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Gerard Butler. Their lid covers a part of their eye. So picture my eye being like this. There's not you don't see any strip of lid. Their actual eye is covered by this up here. That's a hooded eye. So for me, and I'll speak for myself because this is not against anyone who says hooded eyes and their eyes look like my shape. So this is not against anyone. This is just me sharing information that I hope will help you if you're trying to determine what type of eye shape you have, or just giving you something thought-provoking. So for me, just my lid from here to here is hooded because I have all of this puffiness going on. I'm going to show you a picture. Also, I want you to not think or to expect that your lids are going to look like mine as you get older. Because some people say, you know, older lids. I'm 53. Don't I look good though? Thank you, I know. And some people have said, yeah, aging lids, you know, gravity. And sometimes it does make a difference. But a lot of times I find that it doesn't. My eye shape has always been this way. This puffiness is not because of age. I'm going to show you a picture when I was a kid. Wasn't I always friggin' adorable? But you saw my eye shape. This was still all puffy. You still only saw a strip of lid. And because I was grinning, you know, my bags were still there even as a kid. And it just made my eyes look smaller. But you still saw that little strip of lid. I'm going to show you again. just because I'm so adorable. And I know I always had a big face and puffy lids. So this is not aging eyes. This is just my eye shape. And so try not to feel like, oh, as I get older, like if you're in your 30s or 40s, try not to think, oh, when I get 50 or 60, my lids are going to be all the way down in here. Not necessarily, you know, think positive. Your eye shape may stay the same. You saw my lids were always this way since I was a kid. Like, this is not anything new. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about was, I don't want to say controversy about hooded lids versus hooded eyes, but I just want to get the definition out there. If you're going to be literal, hooded eyes means your actual eye is hooded like this. And if you look up some of those actors that I listed, their eye is hooded. And if you go back, like if you Google like Brad Pitt pictures or pictures of Brad Pitt, even if you look back to his younger years, his eyes were always like that. Gerard Butler, their eyes were always like that. Like it doesn't have anything to do with aging. And again, being literal, hooded lids. Just part of my lid is hooded, not my eye. The lid is hooded. My eye is not hooded. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about with you. And even in the videos where I did put in the title, you know, hooded eyes, I'm pretty sure I do mention quite often I have hooded lids because of all the puffiness, and that is really kind of what it is, because imagine if this wasn't here, like you would be able to see like straight back into my socket. And so my puff is covering part of my lid. So I have hooded lids due to puffiness. I do not have hooded eyes. And some will say this is standard eye shape. Looking at videos, pay attention to people's eye shapes. Most people do have this kind of eye shape. They may have a little more mobile lid space because it's not puffy, or when their eyes are relaxed, they may look like this. Gel Beauty 87, aka Grace, perfect example. This is her natural eye shape. I mean, even though I'm raising my brows to get it, this is her natural eye shape. You see from her lash line all the way up. And I'm like, whoa. Another good example for deep set eyes is Mel Thompson. She's no longer here. Her channel is still up. And so I'll put her name up here in case you want to look her up. She's a perfect example of deep set eyes, because her natural relaxed eye shape is like this, but you can see back into her socket. Like her socket is defined. And those are very good eye shapes for, okay, put in your crease shade and then your transition shade. But for me, it's all up under here anyway, so it doesn't matter. And so, but I'm hoping this is informational to you and that it is thought-provoking. And I am looking at my notes. And so looking at, excuse me, the definitions of eye shapes according to the pictures, either we can say I have a standard eye shape, or we can say I have an almond eye shape. Think of an almond, like, yeah, the nut. Yeah, Troll is nutty. Look at my eyes. Does it not look like if you were holding an almond in your hand? I wish I had one. Is that not what the white part of my eye looks like? It looks like an almond because it's kind of flat here and then it's a little bit rounded right here along my lash line. So we can say I have almond eyes. We can say I have standard eyes, but my lids are definitely hooded because of the puff. Let me know so far what you think about that. I hope it was not confusing. I'm hoping I did not confuse myself. So I'm going to show you two different techniques. I've done these in previous videos and they're in my How to Beginner series playlist. And I know when new people come along, I don't know it, but I think it because I don't even do it. When I subscribe to somebody new, I don't always go back and look at their older videos. And so it has been on my mind, excuse me for that stammer, it has been on my mind to redo these two techniques for those of you who are new, or for when I say things, you can have a visual of why I'm doing it. And what I had wanted to do was another how-to on how to fake mobile lid space. Because yes, from here to here, all of this is lid. And so people say to me, you have a lot of lid space, you have a lot of lid space. When I hear that though, I think of my mobile lid because I don't have a lot of it, and I fake it by taking my lid shades up here so that when my eyes are relaxed, you still see the lid shade. So in that sense, I don't have a lot of lid space, but if you're counting from lash line to brow bone, then yes, I have a lot, but most of it is just puff. And so I don't count the puff. And the second thing I've been wanting to redo was how to get your colors to look saturated on your lid without using your finger and without you wetting your brush, because I still hear a lot. And again, this is not against anybody. And it goes to my intro. Do your makeup the way you want to. Find a technique that works for you. And I hear people say, if you want to get good saturation, you have to use your finger. You got to go in and wet your brush. And I'm thinking, you ain't going to tell me what to do. And so again, even though I mention these things as I'm doing looks, I've been wanting to do a dedicated video for it. And so when I saw Leanna do this challenge, you know, what helps you to feel powerful, I thought teaching, giving someone something at least interesting to hear, hoping that it's something thought-provoking to get them thinking about things, the things that they hear, and how you view things just in general. Because again, with hooded eyes, I think it's just a hot phrase, and just, you know, hooded eyes, hooded eyes, hooded eyes, hooded eyes. But what is it really? And so I do hope that that part, the first part, was thought-provoking. So really quick, what's on my face? Fenty primer and foundation, L'Oreal brow pencil, and the Elephant, hate to love it, hourglass palette. I put on hydrating under eye cream before I put on my foundation and primer. I use this to set my under eye, this as a highlight, this one as a blush, this as a contour / bronzer, and this to set my face. And so the only thing we did not use in here was this. This is a face palette for me, and this is it. And don't my skin look glowy? I hate to love this product, like seriously. And so that is everything on my face right now. You saw me put on chapstick. So I'm going to prime my eyes, and we're going to get started with the first technique, which is how to fake mobile lid space. If you only have a little bit of visual lid space when your eye is relaxed and you want to make it look like you have more, I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to do one on one eye in just regular way. Well, my way is regular for me, but we're going to do one faking it and one not faking it. And then the third part of the video, I'm going to show you how to saturate your lid shades. So I'm going to prime my lids now. I don't know why I'm looking like, where's my primer? And so let me know what you think so far. And I'm going to edit this part out because I don't just want to take up your time unnecessarily. While I'm blending out this side, I do want to mention, if you don't have like all the puff and you do have less space from your lash line to your brow bone, it may benefit you to use smaller brushes than the one that I use. And I tend to use larger brushes because I do have a lot of space according to the techniques I use to apply my shadow. And so that's something to take into consideration as well, especially when you're doing, well, your eye looks in general, whether it's your lid shades, your transition shades, your crease shades, you know, that type of thing. So we're going to use Natasha Denona Circle Logo palette, and I'm excited to be digging back into this. And so the first thing we're going to do, oh, I need smaller brushes if I'm gonna do I need to find smaller brushes if I'm gonna do one way the regular way. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna do just the lid part. I want to say regular, but my way is not the typical regular way. So we are going to take Aerialist, this shade here, and we're going to put that on the first half of our lid, just the mobile lid. So that is right here into the socket, which is the crease. So we're only going up to the crease, and we're going to take a larger brush and we're going to put that over here the way I do. This is exciting to me. I've been wanting to do this, y'all, for a long time. And you see, it is a wider brush. Let me hold these up side by side so you can see. So this was this brush, And this is this one. So it is twice as wide. Ooh, my lids are sticking. Let me keep going. So I'm gonna finish applying this side and then we will come right back. Oh, you know what? No, because this is the socket. This is the transition area up here. And I know I say in most of my eyeshadow look videos, I take my lid shades up into the crease and up into the transition area. This is what I'm doing. So now you have a dedicated video, well, second one, explaining exactly what it is that I'm doing. This is my mobile lid. This is the crease. This is my transition area. So you see the difference. When I look at you, if it's only on my mobile lid, all you see is this little bit right here and maybe a little bit there. And if I put on eyeliner, you would still see the lid shade here because it's up here, but you would not see the lid shade here. You would only see a tiny bit right there. We're going to take Razzle Dazzle, this shade. We're going to take another small one, and we're going to put that just on our mobile lid on this side. We're going to go back to the first brush, and we're going to pull that over to get our blend. And actually, we're going to sweep in between because both of these are shimmers. We're going to take a clean brush, take that same shade Razzle Dazzle, and we're going to put that over here, mobile lid in the crease and up to our transition area. They also say, don't raise your brows when you're doing your eyeshadow. If I didn't raise my brows, how would I get in here? How? Impossible. And my intro is the way it is, y'all, for a reason, you know, because that's, you know, what I tell myself every time I'm telling you guys, do your makeup the way you want to get it on the way you want it to look. Because if I never raise my brows, this would be completely bald. If I look down or close my eyes, there would be no shadow in there. So it goes back to also when people say things, like, think about why they're saying it and if it's true for you, because everybody's truth is not everybody else's truth. And so we're just blending in between. And so if you were just doing the lid shades, either just on your mobile lid or taking your lid shades up into your transition area, the look would be done. And we are going to take a transition shade. We're going to take Firework, this shade here, because it's almost like a non-color. And I probably should take a smaller brush. We are going to take a smaller brush because it's a smaller area. We are going to put this as our transition shade. I mean our crease / transition shade. And so this is the only place that this would go. If this was our crease shade, because this is the crease, like right here. And so that would be it. This look would be it. And so as you see, it is a nice look. I mean, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. We're going to take a bigger brush and go into that same shade. And we're going to bring that above our transition. So this is in between our transition shade and our brow bone. And this is why I don't always do a brow bone highlight, because if I do a transition shade, that almost goes up to my brow bone. And I chose this shade because it is a there not there type color. And so these are the two looks. And so I'm hoping this was helpful. Let me know what you think. So just your mobile lid, we're taking your lid shades up into the crease and into the transition area. So this shows you what I mean when I say I take them up, so when I look at you and my eyes relax, you can still see the lid shades. And that is faking the mobile lid, because most people I don't think will look and be like, oh my gosh, like, you know, she just has a little bit of lid space, mobile lid space, because they're seeing the lid shade all the way up here. Another good channel is Annette's Makeup Corner. I always forget that she has like hooded lids, because she does her shadow the same way, and she uses more bold colors than I do, and she takes her shades up, and I'm just like, wow. And I always forget that she has hooded lids because of how she does her eyeshadow. It doesn't look like her lids are hooded because her lid shades go all the way up, you know, up into the transition area. And so that's something to think about. It is a drastic difference. And so if you do have extra space, or if you have puffy lids like me and you want to fake your mobile lid area, you want to fake having more mobile lid space, take your lid shades up into the crease and up into the transition area. Look at the difference that that makes. It's astounding. I'm going to even it out. So I'm going to take these two lid shades up higher, and then we're going to come back and we're going to go to part 3. Hopefully I got it even. Now we're going to take my favorite sponge tip applicators. There's a link down below, and we're going to see if we can intensify the lid shades because they are super sparkly already. I don't know if this is going to work. And initially I was just going to do this and the second part, saturating the colors, in separate videos just to be sure that it showed up. But since we're here, we're just going to keep going. So we're going to take Acrobat and we're just going to see if it does intensify. And I don't think it is. Did it? I kind of want to say it did, but that could be wishful thinking. I think it is a little bit brighter. You let me know if I'm seeing things. So from this one to this one, I think it is a little bit brighter. I love the sponge tips for if a shade is hard to pick up, if it's the chunky type of shimmer shades. And so you can get this even if it already is a shiny shade. You can get it to be a little bit more shiny without, I think it's making a difference. We're going to go in with Razzle Dazzle on the other side of this. And we're going to see if that'll show up any darker. It did. Look. I really wasn't sure because it is such a vibrant shade anyway. I'm learning here right along with you. And I'm lightly just going back and forth in the center. And then we're switching back to the silver side and pulling that over. So this is how we're doing our blend, just very lightly. I am shocked because I was really like, I don't know, because he's already vibrant. But look at this one. This compared to that, and even this compared to this. Y'all, I'm telling you. So when you hear people say, you have to do this, or with this shadow, if you want full saturation, this is what you need to do. Question it. And even me, stuff that I say that I do, question it. Okay, why is Troll saying that? Probably because it works for me. That doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So take everything you hear, not everything, but when you hear you must do this or you must do that, question it and think about why are they saying that. And I try not to say things like that. Well, you have to do this if this. I try to say, you know, I do this because. So that way you'll understand, okay, I'm doing this because. And I'm not saying that you have to or you must, or with this type of shadow, this is what you have to do. You don't have to do anything. Number one, none of us have to even wear makeup. You know, truth be told. Oh my gosh, y'all. Like, I was really not sure about this. About the colors being more saturated than they already were. And they are. I am surprised. I am excited. I really hope that this was thought-provoking, the discussion on hooded eyes versus hooded lids. And I hope it was entertaining in the sense that my personality is just that way sometimes. But I do hope that it was thought-provoking, that when you hear things, not feeling like you have to do this or you have to do that because somebody said so, because you don't. You really don't. We're going to go back with the brush we used for our transition shade, which was Firework. Why am I being awkward? Because I am awkward. This shade right here. And we're just going to do some more blending since we added some more of both of the lid shades. This is my first time using these 3 shades together, and I had a note to do a look using these 3 shades, and so here we are. We're doing it, and we did it, and I like it. We're going to act on our lower lash line. We're going to take Macro Violet on our upper lash line. We're going to use for the first time Bite mascara. This came in a subscription box. And then we're going to come back and figure out a lip. We wiped off chapstick and put on the Fenty Stunner, and this shade is Undefeated. I didn't want to take up your time unnecessarily because we did talk about quite a few things. I am editing where I can. And so we talked about the difference between hooded lids and hooded eyes. And we demonstrated just doing lid shades on the mobile lid versus taking your lid shade from your mobile lid up into your transition area. And then we demonstrated how to intensify your lid shades or your shimmer shades. So just question, why are they saying that? Try it, see if it's for you. It may be for you or it may not. And even for me, question what I say. We can agree to disagree if necessary, but we're adults and we can have rational discussions. I am all for being corrected. I am all for hearing others' opinions. And that's what makes YouTube so wonderful. The beauty community to me is that when people can come together, this eye is really tearing, is when we can come together and just have a discussion, whether we agree or not disagree. I never want you to feel like you can't challenge me on something, because I'm challenged by a lot of stuff that I see. And sometimes I talk about it and then sometimes I don't, or I'll just make a mental note and be like, yeah, that's what they said and it worked for them, but I'm not doing that. And so just try things for yourself, or if you just know within yourself, okay, it's not for you, then it's fine. But try not to take things to heart, and it goes back to the intro. Not doing things just because somebody said so. Do what you want to do, boo-boo. You do you, boo. So thank you for being here. Let me know your thoughts on this video, on the different parts. Hooded eyes versus hooded lids. Mobile lid, just putting the colors there and taking them up, and also different techniques for having your shimmers or your lid shades look more saturated. And feel free to chat amongst yourselves. I do reply back to everybody. I will be reading your comments, and I do hope this was interesting and thought-provoking. And don't forget to look at the links below for the different eye shapes, and yeah, and look up the names that I have put for, well, not now, but earlier, for the different actors with hooded eyes, because you will see exactly what hooded eyes are, and it'll change how you see things, maybe, when you're looking at videos. And so thank you for being here, and thank you again, Leanna, for the challenge. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. You will see me in the next video. Thanks.